Hey guys, welcome back. We are covering Iron Man today. There are some interesting Easter eggs. I really enjoy these backstories before they brought the Avengers together. Although, don't get me wrong, the Avenger movies are good. I love seeing them interact. Quite some interesting things, but the backstories are also interesting. Anyway, Iron Man, ooh, Tony Stark. Tony Stark. I loved this film back when it came out, and then I don't know, something about the second and the third film, which I'll cover next week, or, soon, this month. I'm covering it this month, okay? Just bear that in mind. My gosh, I don't know. There's something about those two films I'm iffy about, but I do like Tony Stark, especially as he developed within the Avenger films. Anyway, this has some interesting Easter eggs. There's also a lot of Easter eggs linking to Tony specifically and the Stark Industries. So that is something to bear that in mind as you watch the films. All right, let's get into those Easter eggs because that's what we do here. All right, so Iron Man starts in Afghanistan where Tony Stark is taken, um, and Iron Man so he's taken, but then like it flashes back to 24 hours earlier where they're talking more about Howard Stark, the same man who helped Captain America become who he is. And they're talking about his legacy, and Tony is taking over. This is very much giving Walt Disney vibes, by the way. How he was very much in the media and he took over a lot of things, and then his family did. His brother Roy actually took over for a while. But I want to throw that out there, some things. So anyway, Tony is now taking over Stark Industries. It's been a while now he is, and so you can see a lot of Easter eggs with like Rolling Stones and Newsweek and all this stuff. Um, but they were having a convention at the World's Fair. And if you guys remember, Captain America, you know, in Captain America the First Avenger, which I posted, one of those Easter eggs is the World's Fair. And this will come up again very soon. Anyway, we also have James Rhodes, who this is played by Terrence Howard in this film. It does switch to Don Cheadle in future films, but he does play a very big role throughout the Iron Man films. Anyway, Captain America is still taken. He's forced to create a replication of, I believe it was a bomb, um, by the bad guys, but instead Tony decided to create this armor, and this armor comes into handy because it is the very first Iron Man suit. Um, so let's take a look. Anyway, Tony was able to fight off the bad guys. He was able to get out of Afghanistan, and he was rescued by soldiers. But of course, while he's at this meeting and Pepper Potts, who is his assistant, is trying to deal with this guy who is Phil Coulson. Phil Coulson comes up. He is a agent of Shield. He actually becomes the director of Shield under the direction of Nick Fury. This does come up quite so often. Phil comes up not only in the MCU movies. He's quite a underrated yet big character. He also had his own show, Agents of Shield, where he was the director, and they explain more. Um, but he does pop up in the MCU movies, which is really, really important to note because besides Nick Fury being one of those behind the scenes moving chess pieces characters, it is also Phil Coulson. And Phil Coulson is trying to get Iron Man under his control because what the heck, dude? A billionaire with this kind of power is not good. Well, so we think. So anyway, Tony Stark continues to work on different variations of suits and will keep upgrading them and all this stuff. And that is what his plan is. But in the meantime, his dad's partner, who we will see in a few minutes, has been working on some really bad things. I mean, really bad. Like, talk about the villain of a story. That is the true villain of the story. But we'll come to that in a second. Because first, we of course have a cameo from our favorite person, Stan Lee, the creator of MCU. He shows up in almost every single MCU movie, and that is because he's the creator. He's a creative director. Unfortunately, he has since passed, and he's not showing up as much, or at all, really. But there are some hints to him, so don't worry. But what I love about this is Stan Lee is pretending to be Hugh Hefner. I know, it works out really well. Um, anyway, so we have our true villain. This is when Tony is realizing it. Tony also shows James Rhodes the suits because that will also come into play later in other movies. But basically, the bad guy created his own suit, and now Tony has to fight him, and so forth. That's how the movie, goes. And then at the end, Nick Fury, of course, shows up because, of course, he does. It's just a very Nick Fury thing to do. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Stay tuned in because this month and next month, so February, March, we are covering all Marvel. I'm going to get to as many movies and theories as possible. It's not going to be everything, but we're going to try, okay? We are getting down to the wire when it comes to Moon Knight, and when that comes out, I will absolutely be covering that. I'll see you guys soon. We have some fun theories and more Easter eggs coming up this week.